Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play for F1 Manager 22 as we continue our worst to first run here with Williams Racing. And finally got a few of the episodes up. The first several episodes I recorded all in one batch, so I didn't get to see any comments or anything like that. And there's a few people that commented about actually trying this first season. And don't get me wrong, yeah, I could actually try and build parts for this season to make my car better, spend, all the time going through the practice sessions and stuff like that. But to what end? I mean, I'm not trying to build a team that can get 7th place. I'm trying to build a team that can get 1st place. And to get a team that can get 1st place, you've got to have that foundation. And so, yeah, I could go through all the trouble of practice this first season, but why? Like, there's literally no reason to do that. Maybe a little extra money if I could find a way to squeeze out a couple 15th place finishes, and that's possible. But, I mean, you think of all that time that I spent doing that when all I really care about this first season is laying that foundation. Now, so I know some people might not like that, but again, I challenge you to get to 1st place faster than me without laying that foundation. I do. If you can get to 1st place in this thing without building a strong foundation first, then kudos to you. But I think you really need that facility foundation. You need all that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, could I also be doing practices while building that foundation? Sure. But again, I could put like in hours upon hours upon hours of effort of doing practices to get one spot better, when what I'd rather do is build my foundation, get my cars to where I want them to be, and then put in those hours upon hours upon hours to really start climbing the ladder at that point. So my aspirations are much higher than the bottom of the field here. So that's why I don't care about practice this first season. It's really about getting drivers in here, and that's why I'm simming practices, because the simming practice still gets the driver some experience, right? Like, they still get the experience from simming those practices. So it doesn't matter if we do those or not. But once we get into actual official, like, we're really trying to push the limit here and really trying to work our way up. We've done the foundation. Now it's time to actually attack. You will see me slow down quite a bit, and I'll be doing probably one race per episode, because I'm gonna have to go through all that practice session and stuff like that, possibly even qualifying if we're able to get kind of a chance of us getting into that second qualifying or further along. So just expect that to come. Apologies if this first season is boring to some of you, but again, this is just a foundational season, and we'll go from there. But anyway, that's also why I'm trying to breeze through it and do 2 races per episode. That way it kind of goes quickly. We get through it, and then we can then go from there. So it's possible next season will be the when we start actually pushing the car up. In fact, I think it will be, but I really wanted to kind of get stuff set up this first season. So anyway, enough of that. Let's get into the mail for today. CFD simulation upgrade complete. Simulator upgrade complete. Sorry. Obviously, a considerable increase in monthly upkeep, but double on a lot of different things here. So I'm hoping this really helps out a lot, right? I mean, in fact, I kind of want to upgrade it again. But now we're spending a lot of money just to increase it by 50%. See, the first upgrade is really good, right? Because that's a double effective per unit of testing. But this one's only a 50% increase per unit of testing. Now, don't get me wrong, it eventually adds up. But I'm not sure if that's exactly what we're wanting to do right now. Because honestly, I kind of want to get the design center going. It's going to take a long time to finish. It's very expensive. And this allows me to have those 5 engineers per project. Since we've now got the 3 projects, getting some extra engineers to help us out with that would be really, really useful. It's very expensive. It's not going to be finished for quite some time, but kind of leaning towards that. I don't know if there's any. Let me see. When is my design parts? When are my parts getting designed soon? Can't talk all of a sudden. When are my parts going to get done being designed? What am I looking for? Cars. We have current projects. We've got one coming up in 29 days. Can I start a new project already? Research. Yeah, okay. Minor technical changes next season. So I don't really know what these research projects completed how that really helps us in the long run. That's part of the reason why I want to get through this first season. I kind of want to see what that in-between season stuff, how any of this comes into play, you know? So we'll come back to that here in just a second, I think. All right, let's go back to the mail real quick before I get too carried away here. Race simulator. So there's the race simulator. Now that I do want to make sure we get completely upgraded. Okay, we are completely upgraded. That was the last level. Perfect. So that's going to give our drivers the most XP they possibly can get. Awesome. Engine poor condition. We'll go back to that in a second. We're going to replace your engine here in a second. Difficult race. Yes, yes. And our drivers do have some points to develop, some development points. I think we're going to keep doing reactions for now. Really trying to make our drivers really well balanced. I think that's the right move. I could be wrong, but I think it's the right move to try and balance them out as best as possible where we can. At some point, we're going to start working on your smoothness. For smoothness is a good thing to upgrade as well. Don't get me wrong. In fact, no, we'll keep doing this. We're going to keep with the plan as is. Maybe it's the wrong plan, but it's a plan I'm sticking with for now. So we'll see how it goes. Let's see here. Let's go to the cars. Let's check your cars out. Let's check your powertrain. I think we can run one more race with your engine. Don't get me wrong, it's terrible. But again, that's not the point that we're trying to get at. It's not about... We're just trying to survive this first season, if anything else. Your engine, though, probably needs to be swapped. We might have to spend... Because I've been pushing so hard, we might have to spend some more money on some engines and pay the penalty, unfortunately, which would not be great. We'll run it as much as we can, and we'll go from there. All right, so back to the plan for today. So I do want to go ahead and get some more car part development going because... I want to see how much this costs me so that way I know how much money I have left over. So we've already got a rear wing in progress. Do we want to keep doing the side pods in the rear wing? Is that, are we just... here's my thought process. And this, if you ever watch my Motorsport Manager stuff, you've seen me do this before. If you try to improve everything, then you just get okay everything. But if you really focus down on one or two parts, basically each season, so this season, let's say I'm doing the side pods and rear wing, then you've got potentially, hopefully, really good rear wings and side pods. And you might even have, I mean, I don't know if we're going to get there yet, but in time, we can have the best in the field of side pods and rear wing, like just absolutely amazing ones. And then we can focus on other parts in future seasons. So that's my thought process, is to kind of keep going back and forth between these. Now, we do have 3 projects we can work on right now, so I can pick up another one. So I might be focusing on that here in just a moment. But let's do another side pods, because why not? Oh, I don't have any more hours left for another 7 days. So we're going to wait for 7 days. I went all out on the rear wing. I wasn't sure if the side pods were going to get done in time, so we'll hold off for 7 more days for that. Here in a couple months, we're actually going to get another month of income coming in. So income's coming in per month is about 4.5 million. Let's see here. If I go back to the car development, if I were to do a research for a side pod, like what are we looking at again? I'm going to skip the man hours for a second. I'm not actually going to finish this. I still want to continue to do, I think, race performance, because engine cooling is, again, going to drop so much. I'm not going to try and focus on that. And then development settings. And we're going to do all the engineers we can. So it's not that bad, honestly. So, okay. All right, so that's fine. So I think the reason I was looking at this is trying to get a ballpark of where we're at, because I really want to go ahead and stick this thing on here. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the development center again. I'm going to keep pushing this up as much as we possibly can. It's very expensive. But, I mean, that's the whole point. We're trying to develop cars, and I feel like the development center is a big deal. I do want to get you upgraded at some point as well, because this would also effectively double, right? So that's going to be probably the biggest bang for our buck compared to the CFD simulator. Suspension. Again, all these things that are going to double it, I might go through the list and just bump them all up, just because that is our best dollar per gain that we can get, I would say. And then we can worry about other levels later. But obviously we're very low on the money right now, so we're going to go ahead and continue for now. So some scouting is done. Race preview, that's fine. So here is... So he's got only average growth potential. So we definitely do not want this guy. I was wondering if there's going to be some average ones thrown into the mix. Because this guy's only... he's a youngster too, isn't he? He's 20 years old. So yeah. We definitely don't want a guy like that. That's not what we're looking for. Not that he's not good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he might be perfectly fine for some people. But for what I'm looking for, that's not what I want. Man, we really got to keep pushing these things up. Now, again, we're not improving our car this season. Like, we have done literally, well, maybe 1 or 2 parts just because we were playing around. But basically nothing to improve our car this season. So we're very much... If we're going to keep getting these reports, I guess is my point. Finances, we did get a little bit extra money coming back in. Board confidence is now high. It's still high, I should say. His high, growth potential is also high. I wonder if it goes very high. I wonder if there's a very high growth potential anywhere. We do have you that I still want to get rid of at some point. Oh, you actually have development point as well. I guess we'll put it in braking. I don't like your average growth potential. But I also don't want to spend a lot of money on somebody who... I think we're just going to let your contract expire. Well, it's only 38,000 bucks to break his contract. I just need to get me a decent driver to just kind of fill in that spot. Like Jack Doohan is probably way too much, right? We need somebody who's like a cheap free agent, but also has a lot of potential. I'd really like Isaac here, I think, as soon as he's able to be have a contract. He can't until he's over 18. Because that's going to give him a ton of space to develop. Or Oliver. Oliver's another good one, actually. So Oliver playing... He's in car 2. So his only limitation, unless I'm misreading this... Oh, has to complete at least 2 seasons of F2 or F3. He has not completed 2 seasons. I would imagine. I can't imagine that he's completed more than 1 season. Let's see. Career. I don't see hardly anything for him, right? So we're going to have to hold off on him. He's actually really good. I'm actually really impressed by this guy. Now, Oliver is somebody we really want. I've already flagged him. That's right. I'm going to go ahead and detail scout him because I just want to kind of have that available for us. And then we're going to come back over here. We're going to just look at overall rating. We're going to find the youngest player with a good rating. Youngest driver with a good rating. Probably preferably under 20. Already shot Jack Doohan. Okay, so that's fine. We can go with Frederick here. He's 20. How about Theo? Oh, Theo's already hired. That's ours. Sorry. I knew that. I'm like, I haven't memorized everybody's names, okay? They're still new to me, okay? Don't laugh. Even though I just did. Zane's already been scouted. We've kind of already done what I'm looking for. Anybody that's like worth scouting is either already scouted or being scouted. Here's a 17-year-old not scouted. I mean, he's not that great. But we're going to go ahead and just standard scout him anyway, just to see what's going on with him. Oh, I do still need to scout some staff, I think. We've already replaced the head of aerodynamics. I need to consider replacing some of these other guys at some point. Good affinity, that's always good. These guys don't have the same, you know, we still need to get the team hub up so we can get more experience for our staff. They don't have the same stats or the same rating that says, hey, this is how good I am at getting improved stats and stuff. Or experience gains, I guess is what I'm looking for. We'll probably let these guys run out their contracts before we consider replacing them. All right. Fastest lap, definitely not going to happen. Qualifying position 15th. There is always a possibility of qualifying position 15th. Now, if that's if we really, really pushed it. It's unlikely. Well, let's say it's unlikely. It's definitely a possibility. We could definitely do 15th, I think, if we really, really focused in on the practice. But again, it just doesn't feel like that's what we're looking for. All right, I think we're good here. Let's go ahead and go to the race weekend.
It's another historic weekend of Formula One here at Zandvoort. The track has seen many unforgettable moments, like Gilles Villeneuve's three-wheeled lap at the 1979 Dutch Grand Prix, which cost him victory. What excitement lies ahead this year? There's never a dull moment at Circuit Zandvoort. It's fast, very fast, with long straights and wide curves. But it also features two heavy banked corners, where aerodynamic improvements are sure to help our drivers. This is it. We're down to the last few races of the season, and it's time for that final push. Who will be crowned champion at the end of it all? We'll find out soon enough. There's nothing like a race weekend in Formula One.
Alrighty. Yeah, but this is a fun track to drive around on. I'll be honest. Like, I don't know. Some of these tracks I'm just looking at, I'm like, I wish I could go there and drive around on that. Whatever. Maybe not necessarily in a Formula One car, but like just in a nice sports car, just zipping around. Okay, so I haven't really looked at the reports and stuff at all. Well, again, this is another one of those things that I'm going to care a little bit more about as time goes by, as we get a little bit more serious about stuff. Like, for example, I'm going to start making parts that are good for the next race type of stuff, or the race, a race coming up that we think is critical, things like that. So expect that to come. I don't think there's anything else we need to worry about right now. You can always simulate a couple sessions and then like come in at P3 and use the information they gain for P1 and P2 to have the best chance possible of like locking in that final car. You know what? Let's try that. That might be the best of both worlds. Because they're going to give me some information, right? Yeah, so we're already at 43.58, which I say already at. That's not that great, to be fair. But presumably that will get us that will give us, yeah, so that shrinks the bands a lot. So we have a better chance of locking that in P3. So I think that's what we're going to try and do. We're going to do that from now on for a little bit. I think just to give us, why not? Let's give us something. If we can get a couple 15th place finishes, well, not this race because we don't have a sponsor objective for that, but when we do, that would be really nice to have. You know, for that extra little bit of money that we can get.
Welcome back as we continue our race weekend with practice soon to finish and then qualifying hot on its heels.
All right, so let's get right into this, and we're going to go ahead and run P3, I think. Looks like we're fine. It's going to be rainy on Sunday, though. That's amazing. So we're going to look at this. We are definitely much closer. We got a couple greats, though, right? So that's going to be a huge help for us. All right, so we want to bring that in a little bit, the toe out. We might have to change that here in a minute, actually. I've got to remember which of these adjust what. What adjusts just the straight? Oh, that would be rear wing, right? Yeah. So we need to adjust the rear wing a lot, I think. I wish I knew what the scale was here. I wish it was like a very bad or something like that, but I'm assuming bad is just exactly what it sounds like, bad. I'm still going to keep it towards this side of things because I want to know which direction I go. That's the reason why, by the way, if you have never played Motorsport Manager and you're new to this kind of slider type of thing, and it may seem obvious, maybe it's not, I don't know. But the best thing to usually do is to put your line on one edge or another. That way, if it says bad, you know which direction to go. Whereas if you stick it dead center and it says bad, you don't know if you need to go left or you need to go to right. So it's always best to try and stick it on one extreme and then kind of work your way in. So just in case that wasn't obvious, that's basically what I am doing. Okay, so rear wing, I think we're locked in on. Traction is actually going to be pretty close, so I think we're okay there. Cornering needs to change quite a bit. That would be... Well, I mean, these are all working pretty good. Tire camber. Tire camber changes it quite a bit, but... Toe out changes it slightly. I just feel like I need to change it a lot, though. We gotta bring this back because our traction is way off. There we go. All right, that's pretty close. I do want to fix the oversteer up here, though. And the braking stability. Braking stability should be... I mean, it's basically right where it needs to be. So this is only changing a little bit. That's changing quite a bit. Cornering probably could change a bit more. And I'd be happy with that. I do need to move the oversteer back, though. Because we knew it was already great. Honestly, that's not bad. Except traction needs to be... I'm not super happy with some of these. Toe out should be my last thing. I know I've said that before. I'm trying to figure out the cornering, though. I can't do that one because that's too much on the traction. I guess it's got to be you. How to fix the oversteer. See, it's going the wrong direction for me. I don't think I'm going to be able to get this right where I want it. I mean, that's about as close as it's going to get, I think. I still want to get you on the line, though. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to get this quite the way I want it to be. It's just I can't get it on both lines. Or we just have to go with something and hope it's good enough, because I don't think... Unless I'm missing a combination of things. Actually, that might have been exactly what I wanted. I hadn't been changing the rear wing because I thought it was already kind of where I went on the straights. Honestly, that is about where I want to be. I mean, I wish I could put straights on the far right, but that's okay. We're going to go with something like this and see if that works. I've already spent more time on this than I meant to. Okay, so we're going to go with that. There's no confirmation or anything like that, right? Nope, okay. And then for you... I mean, look how much shrunk up the stuff here. So that's good. Great already on the oversteer. That's awesome. Straights, we already know that we're pretty close on. So let's just do a good adjustment here. I mean, we've got to do a lot on the braking, so we'll figure that out here in just a moment. Cornering needs to come in quite a bit. Probably, I mean, I need to experiment with this a bit to understand how much of a change is between good and great, you know? I really don't. I need this to stay close, though, unfortunately. Okay, that's actually not bad. And I can move that down a lot more. I'm actually pretty happy with that, I think. Okay, we'll run that. All right, let's go to practice 3. We're going to actually... I guess that's one thing I could have done. I could have been changing it before simulating. I guess they would have stuck with my simulations first. You know what? I wonder. That might have been what I should have done the first time. Let's see here. We were at 52 and 64. Will it get, how much better will it get if I just sim this session? If that's all I need to do is make adjustments before the session and then sim it, and they'll be better equipped to do what they need to do, then maybe that's... Hey, look, we even gained a spot. Look at that, 90. 90. I should have done that from the beginning. I should have changed the car stuff set up before we jumped in there and given them a much better chance. Okay, well, I think that's what we're going to do, because I should have occurred to me, but that makes perfect sense. I could even change his a little bit more, to be honest, because we know his braking stuff is the worst thing. So if we bring braking, you know, as much as we can, something like that. Probably adjust the straights just a smidge. Traction needs to change. Something like that, maybe, just to see what happens. I wonder if he gets more confidence from qualifying as well. Motorsport Manager used to do that. Used to be able to do like one final adjustment before qualifying and still get some information back from qualifying. So we'll see if that actually works or not. Same thing with you, to be honest. I mean, we're optimal. Great, great. We're only good on traction. So if we can squeeze in traction a smidge, which would be not that one. Probably anti-roll. Yeah. That's going to be our biggest adjustment there, but I need to adjust cornering just a smidge. I mean, that might be about as good as it's going to get to be able to get a big jump on the traction. So let's try that and start qualifying. And we are definitely qualifying or simulating the qualifying. We're just going to simulate the race because we're not going to get past the first qualifying. Watch us get past the first qualifying. If we do, then I'll know for next time. Yeah, I mean, kind of to be expected, right? So did we get rating off of that? That's the real question. Rainy day. Yes, we did. Okay, okay. We might not ever have to practice again, because if I can get it to 92% confidence by only adjusting right before the third practice in qualifying, then I could definitely get it a lot higher by just making adjustments before each practice. I should have done it this time, like I said, but okay. But that's a big deal. Okay. Wait, why are we 16th and 17th? Did I look at qualifying wrong? Oh, is it because of these things that they get pushed back behind us or something? Were they close enough that they got behind us, I guess? That must have been. Okay, well, whatever. I'm not going to overthink it. It's just kind of confusing for a second. So rain. I don't know how to do this. I still haven't figured this one out. My thought process right now, right or wrong, is I have no other way to gauge this. There's no millimeters here, right? Is to use inters when it's like kind of at or below the traction line, and then when it's well above the traction line, I'm going to use that to assume those are times for wets. Maybe wrong. I don't know. But that tells me that we should probably start on inters for the first few laps here. So we're going to start on inters probably for at least until lap 12. Right? Because that's about where this is. And this we'll go to wets here until lap... probably right here, right around lap 42. Because this little dip above, I'm hoping is not wet enough. So we're going to go till 42. Ish. And then we're going to go back to inners. We have plenty of traction on all of these, except the final inners. That one's going to get close, but it's going to be fine. Like, this is maybe not the best decision, but we're going to try something like this. Is there any adjustment here I want to make based on, like, maybe I want to pitch you a bit early or a bit late? I think I'm going to pitch you right on 12, and then I'm going to pitch you right on 41. I'll let the other guy go maybe 13 and 42, I think. And this may be completely wrong. We may have to adjust more than this. That may be the thing, is a strategy might not actually be the right move, you know? You might need to be more dynamic with rain, which is fine. We want to go, I think I said 13 and 40. Excuse me, 13 and 42. And we're going to try that. I mean, I can say that I'm going to go heavy pace, but honestly, in the rain, I don't know if I really want to push it that much. We're going to try something like that. And again, knowing that we probably just need to be dynamic.
We have a little bit of rain here. Here we go.
I am kind of curious if the rest of the guys came out on inners or wets.
And it's lights out, and away we go.
What did y'all come in on? 2 wets for Aston Martin. The rest inners. Why are we? I guess it has to be because of the penalties, right? So, all right. Anything we want to adjust here? I mean, I'm kind of okay with pushing on the fuel. And the rain is like low-ish. I might go aggressive on this. I think that's about all I want to do, though. I don't want to go crazy.
Let's reduce the price.
Haas with an overtake.
Come on, guys. Show me something good at this race.
That's a spin.
Did I spin? Oh. Oh, it wasn't me. Never mind. I was going to say, I don't think I saw myself spin. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull this back to balanced. Now I'm just going to go ahead and bump it up. And we'll watch these guys run. Rain is getting... Oh, we're off the track. That's not good. Oh, that's not good at all. Wet should be what you have for over 4 is what, you know, everything said. So
Is that a new race position for Haas?
I'm going to be curious to see how many of these guys pit. Yeah, track conditions changed to wet. So
They've gone wide.
as you would expect, we're only flat 4. But I don't think everybody else changed to wets last time. I think they stayed inners for a while. Nope, there they come. Now they're coming in on wets. I suppose we could always pit when they pit. Because one driver from each team looks like is pitting right now. And I guess the other ones are going to pit in a second. Let's look at the rain. Oh, it's gonna be a lot wetter for a lot longer. That's the difference here. Something changed, which is, again, we have to be flexible. That's the thing. The strategy is just not going to work every time with the rain. You have to be flexible. Okay. Well, in that case, we are going to go ahead and pit as well. You are like right in front of the pit. You are further back, so you just passed it. So we'll see if we can go ahead and get you pit in for wets, I guess. Nothing else needs to change, so you're going to go ahead and pit this lap. So you're in the pit, and then we will schedule your pit as well, I suppose. That way you're not stacked up. All right, so we're back on wets. Okay, so I hope that was good. We'll find out. Engine's not looking great. I'm going to keep it on. I mean, this is going to be the last late race with the engine anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it on aggressive for now. Again, maybe the wrong move, but we'll see. All right, so down 17th, 19th.
Seems to be quite slippery.
Well, yes, it's slippery. It's wet. That's why you're out on wets. Fuel usage is really bad right now. I can't imagine driving. Okay, we'll go and bring it back. I can't imagine driving like at a high rate of speed on a wet track like that. Like, how good are those tires? How the technology in those tires, like, it's crazy to think about. Yes, the track is really wet out there. That's why I'm in wets. All right, guy. We got this. We're fine. All right, so it's come back down a bit. So now it would be down where theoretically you... See, it's going to dip down again. So actually, this is more accurate than what we saw earlier. But it's going to get red again. So I'm assuming everybody else is going to stay out. But we'll keep an eye on them. Yes, I know the track is wet. All right, so we're still in wets. We're good. Oh, I don't want to build tires. I want to look at this. Yeah. So that's obviously very different from Motorsport Manager. The whole not being able to repair your parts between races, or at least not every part. Like there's in Motorsport Manager, you can basically repair everything, right? Like everything gets repaired between races, or if you have the time, I guess supposedly. Well, no, I guess you always have the time, right? Because it always takes a couple days between between the end of the race and when you can start creating new parts. Because your guys are repairing for however many days based on the incidents. So there's that. And then in this game, and I guess in real life, because I'm assuming this game is more based on the real life motorsport or Formula One, you have 3 engines for the entire season, which is kind of crazy to think about. Honestly, I'm not sure if the interval really matters that much. We're so far behind everybody. We're going to kind of keep an eye on the tires just because I want to see what these guys look like, see when they pit, see what they put on. It is very wet out there. Very low track rubber and low track grip. Pretty sure I'm going to be running these wets for most of the rest of the race. Towards the very end, we can swap back, but these need to last us quite a while here. I'm going to go ahead and put you back up to push for a bit. You're staying on the yellow. I'm not sure if I feel like we've gained much from the practice. No, so now the rainfall is down. You guys can't see that behind my cursor. It's down to 2.7 millimeters. Or my camera, I should say. That's about the only thing in this entire game that I'm blocking with my camera is the rainfall amount.
Was that a lockup on the track?
So I'll just let you guys know. We're down to under 2 millimeters right now. But, presumably... Oh, wow, you're really dipping. Presumably... No, it actually is going to come down and stay down. I bet we go back to inners here soon. I bet there's a lot of guys that go back to inners here very soon.
Okay,
Oh,
there's a big crash.
big crash.
We've just had a car run wide.
I'm going to bring you back down to standard.
Safety car, safety car.
Oh, goodness. I don't know.
You just have to follow your delta. Follow your delta and you'll be safe.
I feel like this is the time to put on the inners. Because the rainfall is down to 1.68 millimeters. It's actually almost low enough to put on regular slicks. Because that can be anything under a millimeter. But we know it's going to go back up again before it comes down. So I think inners is the right move, but... we're definitely going to ignore review. You know what? I think we're going to try it. I guess we'll put on any inners. That's fine. We're not going to use them all anyway. Maybe the wrong move, but we're going to try.
Single car.
You can afford to drop back.
Yeah, the rainfall's still at 1.68 millimeters, so... maybe the wrong move, maybe the right move, I don't know. Part of me wants to pitch you as well, just to... but the real thing is that if we could get back into the mix here. So is the rain going to come back up again? Barely, but I think we're going to be good on the inners. You know what? Why not? What do we got to lose? Last place? I mean, that's basically it. So we're going to come back on our inners with you as well. Probably the wrong move, but why not? If there's any way we're able to gain some ground back because we're in pit, that would be awesome. Or because we're on inners, I mean. See, now we're back up to above 4. Okay, no, briefly. So yeah, above this line is kind of where I'm guessing is... it's not perfect, it's not exact, but it's pretty close. That above that line is above 4. And it's going to dip up again here in a minute, so... maybe inners is bad. Definitely something I'm going to have to learn. How to play the water game here, because that's the one I'm still not 100% confident on. I had it down for Motorsport Manager. I thought I was pretty good on Motorsport Manager. We're close, but we're not as close as I would like to be for this guy to be about to... oh no, we're lapped. Never mind, I was looking at the wrong direction. Yeah, Motorsport Manager I was able to do... that's how I got points in a lot of races, is because of weather. I was really good at playing the when to pit, when not to pit in Motorsport Manager. I need to figure it out in this game. If somehow we're able to gain some ground, I'm gonna go back up to aggressive because why not? We're at 3.86 millimeters on the water, so it got back down to below 4 again. Not by much. Still supposedly inners is the good move here. But of course we have been lapped, so... I mean, we have an impossible amount of time to make up, right? Yeah, we're behind by a full lap, so I probably, again, like I said, the wrong move all around. Oh, hello. Are you out? What'd you do here?
It's a spin.
What did you do? Okay, it looks like you're... no, I guess we're back out. I guess I thought that was going to show the highlight. I think I had to click it to show the highlight. I was like confused. I'm like, wait a minute. Nothing's changed. All right, let's go back down to balanced here. I doubt we've gained any grain on the ground, right? We're not lapped anymore. Oh, no, we are. I was looking at the wrong screen. I was like, there's the leader lap. Okay. So we have been lapped. I don't know. If we can catch this guy, I'll feel pretty good about... We're down to 1.90 millimeters on the track. .6. So we're down. So there's one guy already came back in to pit for inners as well. Right, so... So we're ahead of the game on that, I guess. Sort of. But I doubt we're gaining much here. I mean, we're right on Joe's, however you say his name's, tail there, so we're close. And he's going to have to pit soon anyway because his tires are wearing out. Now, we're going to have to pit one more time at some point. Now, Rainey's coming back again. We're above 3 millimeters now. I guess what I'll do is here. We'll just do this. I like having my camera up there for reasons, and we can get into that. But for rainy days, I'll take it off just so you guys can at least see the rain as well. All right, we're going to bring you back down to balanced. So now we're just officially above 4 as of right now. But I think it's only going to be for a moment. Yeah, it's about to just plummet, right? So if we could get these to last, which they're not going to, we would need to pit like now. There's no way those last. Stop spinning. All right, so we're back down below 4, and it should stay that way for the rest of the race. So here's where I don't think we can make 20 laps on the tires that we have. Not with the way we're pushing. It's possible if I go back down to standard, we can make it. But if I'm going back down to standard, obviously we're losing lap time anyway. We'll try it. We'll see how far we can make. Now it's going to start dropping off big time, and that should be it for the rest of the race. Now, if anything, we might need to pit for... If anything, we might need to pit for slicks at some point. But I don't know if that's smart either. If we can make these tires last, we got a 10-second advantage on Joe here. And that's good, right? I mean, it's something. Where's the Aston Martin guys? There's one that's crashed. Oh, he's way up there. Whoa. He's played well this run. So here's the other thought. We got 12 laps left. Do we come back in just for some super slicks and just push it? Like, just go crazy. I mean, if you're fast enough for slicks, I'd have to imagine that slicks are worth a lot of time-wise compared to inners, because 10 inners are, I mean, they're not designed for going like super fast. I mean, they're obviously going pretty fast. Don't get me wrong. We know the rain's just going to drop off, right? I'm tempted when it gets down to 1.5 millimeters to pit. It's crazy to pit for 10 laps, isn't it? If we need to pit anyway because of our... I think we might actually be able to make these last. I'm sure I'm overthinking this, but I just feel like if we know that this is going to taper off, I mean, we're not getting on the guy in front of me. So, honestly, it could just be fun just to see what happens. You're actually closer to the pits. Because you're actually ahead of him. Suppose I could always do one of you guys and see what happens. We're gonna try. All right, we're gonna go full on attack though, even though it's not great for your your other parts. You know what? Why not? Let's just. It's probably a mistake. It's the best way to learn. Just make a mistake and see what happens. It's exactly how I used to learn in Motorsport Manager. I would try something, see what it did,
Dry.
and then make adjustments afterwards. And we are dry now. Dry. So let's see what happens here. Are we able to gain any time here on anybody else?
We've lost control and spun.
No, we're not gaining anything. So now everybody else is starting to pit. And they're going to come out on their slicks, obviously. So now any advantage we had is gone because they're back out on their slicks. We did pass Joe again. And if we can stay ahead of him, awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I think the slicks... I don't think it was a bad move, necessarily. It didn't really gain that much ground, to be fair, but... I don't... Honestly, we gained a few seconds there, right? We were about a 1 minute and, I think, 5 behind before we switched to slicks, and then we got it down to under a minute, so... We gained something. We were just too far behind by then to matter, all right? So, definitely some stuff to learn, I think, still. We're still good here. Apparently an impressive race from Hauger here. And only a good race from you, but that's good. That's good to see. At least we've learned how to do practice sessions, right? Wow, this episode's going to be long because I was messing around with stuff. Alright, financial changes. New financial changes for the 2023 season. In order to encourage excellence on the grid, we suggest change to season prize money amounts that favors better performing teams. No. This is not what we want. I mean, eventually this is what we want, but not right now. Is it good for Formula One for the top-ranked teams to continue to get stronger? Probably not, honestly. I mean, wouldn't you want a little bit more of a balance and a little bit more of a skill and just technological expertise versus just, all right, the team with most money gets first place. You know, like, not saying this is what's going to happen, but, you know, my point is just that rich get richer, you know, type of thing. I'm not sure if that is good for the balance of the sport. Obviously, 10th place makes no difference, so that's interesting to see. We're going to vote against it. I suspect this will pass, although it's possible that anybody below 5th will vote against it as well, to be perfectly honest. Okay, your engine needs to be changed out. Your gearbox should be fine for one more race. Oh yeah, we got a new period started today. Awesome. So we can go jump into that. So let's check out our cars real quick. Check you, grab powertrain, change out the engine. We're on your last engine. Okay. And then car 2. Gearbox is gonna last one more time, I think. So we're gonna go with that. What was I looking for? I don't think they're gonna change anything with facilities just yet. Let me go check out the cars. Parts development, new projects, research, rear wing still going. Let's get the side pods going. And we want to use probably about 1/3 of our hours here because we should have time to do some more stuff with the other parts. We have 84, so 1/3 of that would be... My brain is still not working. 18, no, 28? Yeah, 28. I did it. Oh, goodness. Okay, 28. And then we'll go race performance. I'll say technically I can move these even more than I'm already moving them, and all it costs is money. But I feels a little, I don't know. I was reading an article, it's an article or a forum post or something like that, that said that people thought that was a little bit, I don't want to say cheaty, but like just, you have points. Yeah, sure, you could technically max this out, but, and all it costs is money, but is that really, I don't know. You guys can vote on what you think about that or not. We're going to use 2 engineers. So that way we have 2 for each of the next 2 things, although we can't do the next one until our rear wing finishes. But we're going to do 2 engineers, which is not great, but all that does is changes the number of days it takes. More side pod development. Let's go look at our calendar. 22 days. So in 22 days, we'll be able to do 2 more projects. Something else I was going to change. Oh, I was going to look at facilities. Design center's already going. I want to do the wind tunnel. We have exactly 10 million bucks for the wind tunnel. Let's go for it. Why not? It's going to put us really, really low on money, but we'll get some more money here in a month. All right. Grand Prix. Performance targets. Again, fastest lap. Again, not super relevant to us. Let's get into this. Let's see if we can breeze through this as quickly as possible with the new kind of practice tweaking in mind.
Welcome to Life in the Fast Lane. We're here at Monza in Italy, the home of Ferrari. But who will take home the points this weekend? Let's find out as we get started with the Italian Grand Prix. Monza, a centurion among circuits, dripping with motorsport history. Expect to see cars fly by, as 80% of the track is tackled at full throttle. It's not all go, however, and brakes can be prone to overheating through the tight chicanes that Monza has to offer. With the season nearly concluded, time is running out for the teams. Can anyone make a last-minute breakthrough? Can the leading drivers hold on? Only time will tell. Okay then, let's get to it.
All right. Actually, I'm going to turn my camera back on for this because, again, not covering very much information. The race looks like it's going to be clear, which is awesome. Yeah, cool. Let's get into this race. Let's start adjusting some point stuff here. All right, so straights. Really, the only thing I'd want to change probably is traction. Push that to one side or the other, which would be you. That's about as good as we're going to get. I mean, that's not perfect on the straights. Maybe that's slightly better. We'll see. All right, we'll go with that on you. And let's come over to yours. Oof, yours is like way off. All right, let's adjust straights a little bit. We're going to adjust. Guess we're going to pick that direction first. Yeah, trying to get as close to the edge as we can. I'm not going to worry about too much, though. It's pretty close. And let's go. We're going to simulate the practice session, and we're going to see if our strategy works for us. Honestly, if this strategy works for us, even though I do like the idea of getting into practice and being really, really meticulous with it, this might be good enough. Oh, wow. We're not, again, we're not in last place. I don't know if that means much, but it's kind of cool. So, yeah, our confidence obviously pretty bad. Now, do they stick with that setup for the entire practice session, or do they adjust? I think they stuck with that the entire time, didn't they? Because it didn't look like this changed much. We're already optimal on oversteer. Awesome. We're already great on traction. That's good. Straights is bad. I'm going to assume straights needs to go the opposite direction. We're going to go pretty far the opposite direction. We need to bring traction back, though. And we need to push braking stability over a little bit, although we can make more adjustments to that here in a moment. Cornering is bad. That's a pretty good move. Oversteer needs to change to go back, though. So oversteer needs to be, like, literally right on it. Braking. That's good. I think that's okay. That one's good. These two need to come back a little bit. No, actually, that's good. It's really just the traction that I need to adjust slightly. What am I looking for? Because we knew it was already great, right? Like that. I think that's good. Okay, so now this one. Oof, oof, oof. Okay, we're already optimal oversteer. Got lucky there. Straights obviously needs to come way off. Down that way. Traction obviously needs to come way off. Cornering is pretty bad. That's pretty good. So that's a pretty big jump on both of those. Actually, a pretty big jump on all of them except the braking. We're trying to put braking a bit further, and then we need to get oversteer back where it was. Dun, dun, dun. Let's try that. Actually, that didn't look bad at all. Go to practice 2. Simulate the session. Does this work? The number to beat is 90%. I don't know if we're going to beat 90%. If we get 90% on both cars, I'll call that a success. Okay. We beat 90%, guys. 97 on one car.
Our race weekend continues.
Alrighty. Well, we're going to have rain today, unfortunately, but hopefully that doesn't change things too much. So yours are pretty much perfect except for cornering. And I don't even know if we touch this, right? Like, are we really going to get cornering any better than that without messing everything up? I don't think so. I think we take that as a win. Now yours obviously has a lot of room to change. At least we're good on straights, which means we're not super far off. We're going to jump that. Traction. Weren't we optimal on oversteer at one point? If you're like here and you're bad, it's got to be that far edge on the other side, right? It's got to be over that way. Like right there. Okay, and then we just need to bring the oversteer back. And bring cornering back some more. Cornering just needs to push out a little bit further. I don't like the fact that cornering's not pushing out as much as I want it to. Obviously, traction's not where I want it either right now. We're going to have to go with something like that and hope it's good enough. Alright, we're going to try that. I mean, is there any way to make any changes here? We always have 90% to come back to, right? So, what changes cornering the most? Is that roll? Tire camber, maybe adjust this slightly. I don't think we're going to get better, to be honest. We'll go with that. Simulate this practice session. We have one more before qualifying. Sorry, I hit the mic. Oh my goodness. We did get better. Alrighty. Well, he's perfectly set up. We still haven't gotten Dennis here, unfortunately, but proof that this can work. You don't actually have to do qualifying. You just got to do some setup changes between each thing. Good to know. Oh, okay, so it's really just braking at this point. I mean, these other ones I can live with. If we can get the braking, which obviously has to be on the other side, right? So it's got to be over there. Let's bring the cornering back. No, that's too much on the traction. Camber, I guess, is the best thing. That's going to be about as good as we're going to get, I think. Doesn't feel like that's 20 points of whatever, but we'll try it. And then qualifying, we're going to simulate to the race, because obviously we're not going to get past the first round of qualifying. Do we at least get him above 80, 85 maybe?
Race day has arrived and the time
89, okay. I can live with that. It would have been nice to get above 90 for both of them, but 100% on one and 89 on the other. I mean, technically we could still change it a little bit, right? Or can we? I guess we can't, because we can only change the front wing at this point. Surprised it doesn't tell us at least how close it was. But 89, I mean, that's not bad. We definitely should be getting some points for that, right? Where would it... Do it say anything? No, it wouldn't. Okay, there we go. We're going to see we're at 13 to 15 for Dennis. So that's not bad. That's not bad at all. We can live with that. So let's start with this. And it may not make any difference. If anything, this will prove to you guys that even maxing those out aren't making enough of a difference this season. So that's why I wasn't really spending that much time practicing.
and it's lights out and away we go.
Okay, so let's just push for the first lap or so. Usually what I used to do for Motorsport again, just to see if it makes any difference here. Actually, I'm going to go here. Let's watch it for a minute.
Alfa Romeo just moved up a place.
It's weird that Hager is doing better now than Porsche. Theo. I mean, the cars are identical. Right? I think so. Actually, I think one of them has slightly better side pods. I don't think it was Hager, though. I thought it was... Oh, maybe it might be Hager, because he took over for a better driver from before we recruited the new guys. So maybe he does have ever so slightly better side pods. It's interesting to see how much a difference that might be making, though. I mean, he's definitely doing better. He's got a guy on his tail right now, though. How is Alfa Romeo all of a sudden like behind us? We're gonna push you on defend. See if that helps us at all. Oh, I didn't do his strategies. Oh no! I was so excited about getting the setup confidence right where I wanted it. It's fine because we can just be dynamic. It's not like we're suddenly unable to change tires because I forgot to do a strategy. But it's unfortunate. Oh, we ran wide and then he blocked his own driver. That is not good at all.
Oh, they've run wide.
All right, let's get this rolling here because obviously nothing's going to change now. We'll just we'll have to keep an eye on the tires. How is Aston Martin all of a sudden? They must have gotten some good upgrades for their car parts, you know, in the last couple months, because they were down there with us, and now they're flirting with 15th. All right, we got to drop you down to balanced. So I'm going to pull you off down to aggressive.
Seems to have been a lockup.
Oh wow, you are way over on the fuel at the moment.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes. I think we've had a car run wide.
Probably around lap 20 is when we need to swap tires around. Maybe a little sooner.
That sounds like someone's gone wide there.
All right, we're going to schedule our pit now for you. I wish I'd set up the strategy so I'd have a better idea. We got 33 laps to go. Well, 30, 34. Actually, you know what? Let's go one more lap. I think we can make it one more lap.
Mercedes moved
Man, first place is so far ahead of everybody else. All right, so there we go. I think we go mediums. Am I reading this wrong? And then the approximate lifetime laps. I think we can go mediums. And we should be fine.
Who's running
It's going to be a little tight, but we should be okay on the mediums. At least we can see it now. You need to schedule your pit. And you can also definitely go mediums.
I think there's been a lockup.
A lot of guys went out on hards, but it's fine. You are going to be a little bit better off. We need to probably pull back a little bit earlier. Just to make sure you can make it to the end of the race. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to be able to catch. I mean, if Aston Martin keeps getting 15, 14, 13 places, then we're definitely going to drop down to the last place team here pretty soon.
Sounds like someone's locked up.
Like I said, they must have made some nice improvements. Oh, he hadn't pitted yet. Okay, so that explains at least a little bit of that. We're still, I mean, I feel we're outclassed right now, to be honest. Doesn't help that we have some leaders between us and the other drivers that we're trying to pass and stuff. Not that they're like, we have to let them through, right? Is that how it goes? Like if you have a leader coming up on you, you can't just block them from getting through, right? Like they have to be able to pass since they've already lapped you. I feel like that feels like that would be a thing. Now, if you catch back up with them, obviously you can do whatever, but I can't imagine. My biggest point is though that it's still people in the way. Like we can't. It would be hard for us to try to catch 18th when we've got 3rd and 4th between, in front of us, type of thing. And maybe I'm completely wrong and don't know what I'm talking. Actually, probably don't know what I'm talking about, but it sounds relatively reasonable. Yeah, we're just so far behind the other guys. We just have we haven't done any upgrades to our cars this year really at all. So I would take that with, I guess, a grain of salt. If they continue to get a little bit better and better over us, that's kind of to be expected if they're making improvements on their cars. We've avoided that this first season out to trying to do the best we can for research and stuff like that for next season. I don't know if these tires are going to make it. Going to be close, but I think they will. What about you? Looks like you were fine as well. Yeah. It's 19th, 20th. So again, we might drop down to 10th place as a team overall here soon. Just Aston Martin has just made some improvements to their cars, it appears, where we haven't. So they're just gonna take us at some point. I guess that tells you that even maxing out your ratings on your car, your optimization settings, things like that, are not good enough if your car is just plain slow, you know? And our car is just plain slow. Still barely above them. I'm not sure how long that can last for, though. It's not very good on the points. Yeah, neither one of them had a very good run this time. But we did get a development point for Mr. Theo, which we'll worry about next episode. So again, a little bit longer episode, but I was kind of going over some stuff. And I think we figured out how to do the practice, which still won't take us that long. So we'll start adding that in to the mix just because why not? Even though I do think our cars are getting slower compared to everybody else's, so it may be less relevant than it was before. We have how many races left? We just finished Italian Grand Prix, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 3 episodes left before the end of the season. So anyway, I do appreciate you guys watching. May God bless you, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye. I wanted to give a special shout out to the following channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.